everyone. Good evening and welcome to DJ and TV Tonight. I'm John Young, your host, and tonight we're going to be talking country music. Mike Bendavid. Good evening, Mike.
Hey, hello. How's everybody? Good to see everybody tonight.
Thanks for coming on and being with me tonight, Mike.
Pleasure.
Country music is something that for a lot of folks, they kind of had drifted away, and now, at least in my request list, I'm starting to see a little bit of a comeback of that. And I was hoping tonight, Mike, we can kind of dig into that a little bit and talk a little bit about what you're seeing, because obviously you work in that arena much more than most of us do, and then maybe give everyone some tips on some songs that they should have in that folder of country songs that are going over well with folks for their dance floor.
Oh, okay.
So let's kind of dig into that a little bit. First off, for those who don't know you, Mike, kind of give us that little elevator speech of who Mike Bendavid is.
Well, let's see. I've been doing this since 1978. I was state champion in California country western dancing back in 1981. I've been teaching dancing for a long time. Then I've been DJing also since 78. 1999, I was voted the DJ of the year from the ADJA. And I got the trophy and everything. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Over there in my tuxedo. It was pretty neat. I was surprised. I didn't know the blue. They just called my name out of the blue, and I wound up in Vegas, and there I was. I've done parties here, and I'm in the California area. I'm in Los Angeles area. So I've done parties all the way from here to Nashville. And I've done parties. I've spoken at the different events, Mobile Beat and DJ World and DJ out in Canada, and I've been all over the place doing the Kentucky. I did the Kentucky show many years ago, and it's always a pleasure to be on the air and talk to different people. And I'm a specialist in country music, so people have a question, they always call me up to do country music, country entertainment, and hopefully they ask me to be the dance instructor and the DJ for the party as well.
So in 78, were you just basically a country DJ, or were you doing kind of a mix and it kind of evolved to more strictly a country?
Well, I was a disco dancer, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And my buddy picked me up in his Jeep and he wanted to go dancing. I'm wearing a white suit. I'm all Mr. Hip Hop, Mr. Dancing Disco. And he picks me up, takes me over to this nightclub, and it turned out to be a Western bar.
Okay.
I look like a sore thumb. So I go in there. He's wearing a Wrangler shirt. He's wearing Levi's and a cowboy hat. I'm like, what's going on here? This is all new to me. Mm-hmm. So I go in there with him, and I'm sitting there in a white suit, looking like a sore thumb. This really cute girl come over and says, "You want to dance?" I said, "I really don't know too much about this kind of stuff," but she says, "I'll show you how." So I get up there, ready to do my dancing stuff. She says, "No, put your hand over here and hold on to me." Well, I kind of like the idea of holding on to a woman. It was a whole different kind of experience. You know what I mean? So I took this to heart, stumbled around a little bit on her feet. She said, "No, I'll show you how to do a couple steps and so forth." And at the end of the night, she says, "I'll show you how we'll come back here next week and do it again." I wasn't going to tell a pretty girl no, so I came back the following week and I had the clothes, I had the hat, I had everything. You think that I'd be full-time cowboy, but at that time I just switched because a pretty girl told me to dance. So it doesn't take too much for me to learn the lesson, So I learned how to dance, and then that's when I started dancing full-time, and she started dancing full-time with me, and we became dance partners and so forth. And she went her way, and I went mine, but I kept on doing country, and she kind of went something else. So. Mm-hmm. But that's what happened there.
Oh, a neat story. and a unique story. We've all got we got into it because of, trying to get the girls type of thing, but that was.
Oh, yeah.
The girl got
84 and 85, I actually was a country DJ on the air.
Oh, nice.
Radio station for college. And so I did that for a couple of years, and that really infirmed me more into the music because I worked with John Ritter's son, who was Tex Ritter's son. Tommy Ritter,
okay,
who was from the olden days, from the 50s and the 40s, was Tex Ritter.
Yeah.
So this was his son, and we had a radio show, and so I was working the radio show with him, and we would always talk about his father. So I had a real appreciation, and I met his mother, and I met his brother, and it was very, very nice to be enclosed with these people because they lived it. They grew up in Nashville with his father and so forth, and is a very famous, of course, Tex Ritter. So it was very nice for me to be included with them. So that was how I really got immersed. And from there, I met so many people. It's unbelievable.
How neat that would be, though, to be able to be with the people who saw or lived the history of
Yeah.
country music during that thing. Wow, what a great experience! Great experience indeed. So today, what type of things are you keeping you in that country music realm today?
Well, I teach country dancing, so every day I get asked, what's the latest dancing? What's the latest, greatest song to play? And what song can I play for my DJs out there? And they always think Achy Breaky Heart for some reason. They don't have anything past in their repertoire. They have Boot Scootin' Boogie and Achy Breaky Heart, and after that, they had no clue about country music. So it's kind of, they always call me up to say, what can I play?
Right.
And they'll say Willie Nelson. They don't know what song, but they'll play. They say Johnny Cash. They know them by name, but they don't know them what song.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at.
So speaking of the line dancing, that was a huge part. And actually, at one time in the 90s, early 90s, we were doing a country night, and there was line dance classes being taught. How has line dancing from what I experienced back in the early 90s to what you're doing today, has it changed, evolved, or is it pretty much very similar?
Well, with the COVID, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, obviously that, yep.
But before that, I had 40, 50 people on the dance floor for my classes. I work every Sunday at the nightclub, and I teach 15 to 16 hours a week, doing different places, all different places, senior centers and YMCAs and rec and parks. And I get all ages, little kids and adults and seniors, and I get everybody in between. And basically my classes were full because the seniors wanted to have exercise.
Yeah.
The adults wanted to meet the girls. They always wanted to meet the girls, so they figured my classes are predominantly women.
Okay.
So the guys would come in to meet the girls. It always works out that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard life, someone has to do it. So,
Yeah.
I met my wife line dancing, so it worked out pretty well. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to send a shout out to Sabrina. Sabrina's a DJ who has worked with me over the years. So it's good to see you with us tonight. Thanks for joining us, Sabrina, and all the rest of you out on Facebook and YouTube. If you guys have got any questions for Mike, put those into the chat area or the comments section, because those are coming right to my computer here, and I can take those to Mike and we can chat about those.
Okay.
So Mike, what are some of the popular dances today? Because when we were doing, there was the slopping leather, and there's all sorts of, there's a whole list of different dances that at that time a gentleman by the name of Johnny was teaching at our club. What kind of dances are people doing today that are really popular?
Well, that also is a strange thing because it all goes by area.
Okay.
What I do in my area might be different than 3 blocks down.
Interesting.
Or even a few miles down the road to be a whole different set of dances. I mean, there are a few hardcore dances which are done everywhere, like the tush push, electric slide, black velvet, cowboy hustle. These are all kind of universal dances. But if you said like toes is a dance, there's just there's so many different ones. 2-step line dance, come dance with me. Every song on the radio practically has a line dance to it. Come dance, country girl, shake it for me, honky tonk attitude, watermelon crawl. I'm going back in time, of course, but I mean, just throwing off different things off the top of my head. It's almost every single song that comes out. If it has a beat, that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, it's all the timing really. 4/4 time, and off we go.
Exactly. Now, what happened was Nashville some years back went to all ballads, and every song that came out for about a year was all of a ballad song. Maybe you had one hit and that was it. So the dancers, unfortunately for me, went to other music and did line dancing to other music. So now they have country music line dancing, and then they have other music line dancing. I mean, like the song, for example, just to give you Men in Black, the old movie Men in Black.
Yeah.
Well, they made a line dance Men in Black. Okay.
Sure.
Nothing to do with country music at all, but they did the line dance to that. They use Michael Jackson songs for line dancing. I mean, it's just anything that right now they're doing something with whoever's popular right now, that comes out and that becomes the line dance for other people's groups.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure they take a listen to it and it's like, okay, I can do this dance to it. And then we saw that numerous times where they were doing any number of the line dance moves. It's like, oh, and at that time, of course, I was well versed on it. It's like, that is this, and they're doing it to a very new song that was just being released and such. So it was a lot of fun with that. So we got a question from in the chat room here, and again, just put those down in the comment section, and we'll get to those. So for their country, the events where they're playing predominantly country, that's more of a chill type event. If they want to encourage people to be up and dancing, but sticking with that country format, how would a person go about doing something like that?
You mean to get them on the dance floor?
To get them on the dance floor, yep.
Uh-oh. Did you say it again?
To get them on the dance floor, are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I always call them out when I teach the dance. So that means that I get them out, and they don't come out, I still get them out. I go out and grab them. But if it's just to get them out on a floor breaker, they're always this one still to this day is to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left. You know what I'm talking about? That's the one that everybody wants to come out and do, whether the slide, but an electric slide, of course, any different song will work for that to get them out. Everybody wants to do one or two dances to make them feel like, oh, I did it.
Sure.
But after that, you have to kind of more or less have a teacher teach them what to do. Yeah. So in my events, I always teach them how to dance. And so, I'll start. They'll start the music. They have a meal. After the meal, I do a dance lesson. After dance lesson, do dessert. After dessert, do some more dance lessons. That's a typical party for me. So that works out really well. And I won't do anything that's too hard, so people will feel comfortable coming out and doing it.
So when a person's doing the dance lessons, you're probably teaching a 16 to 24 step dance, I'm guessing.
No, 32.
Oh, 32? Okay.
Yeah, 32 they say is a perfect line dance.
Excellent.
That's what they say. Anything you get up to above 32, people are having a hard time.
It gets to be too much, yeah. And 16 are the ones when we're doing things with kids.
Exactly.
So when you mentioned, of course, like cha-cha slide, but the electric slide was one that was commonly used and can go with a lot of different songs. Cupid Shuffle was also one you had mentioned here just a little bit ago. Are there some songs, country song that you use and say, hey, everybody, we're going to be doing X song, and you can do the cha-cha or the electric slide to it?
Well, electric slide, I used to use Fast As You by Dwight Yoakam.
Okay.
And I also used to use, of course, Achy Breaky Heart, because everybody wants that song for some reason.
Yep.
I can't figure it out, but they always want that song, so I play it and they come out. But Fast As You is actually an older song, which I use by Dwight Yoakam. And then I would use also, oh goodness, I just mix it up. I could pick out whatever the artist of the day is. If I want to pick a Reba McEntire song, or if I want to pick a Shania Twain song, or if I want to pick whoever the artist of the week is. Every time I turn around, somebody wants to be famous for that week. So whoever that is I'll pick that song from them. If there's songs on the radio that's a big hit for that particular whatever it is, I'll use that. So that's what I kind of do. I have fun with it. Yeah,
and mixing it up, especially if you're working with the same people on a regular basis, and having some fun and mixing it up was hugely important.
And I tell my DJs is that years ago I gave a lecture, and I put together what's called a DJ cheat sheet. And that's on my website, which is mikescountrydancing.com. And when you go there, if you look under the area, you'll see it's hidden there somewhere. So I have it for DJs. It's for Mike's DJ cheat sheet. And so what I do there is I help the DJs out. And I haven't updated it for a while, but there's a lot of songs on there that people can go to and see. And
Mike, what was the URL again, please?
Oh, mikescountrydancing.com.
mikescountrydancing.com. Oops. Yeah, I got too many .coms there now. Oh, it's popping up and saying that it's not available tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would it not be available?
It says. We'll check on that URL here, gang, and then we'll get that back to you. Get that up here. So 5 songs that basically always work when you're playing to a country crowd.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Well, of course, Boot Scoot and Boogie always works. Country Girl, Shake It For Me always works.
Yep.
Let's see. Since Joe Diffie passed away, I'm playing Honky Tonk Attitude.
Really?
Because that's an old song he made popular.
Yeah, very much so. Yep, I know the song.
And I actually did a line dance with him. There's a line dance to that.
Okay.
I did a line dance yesterday as a tribute to him. I still play Black Velvet a lot.
Oh, nice.
Which I use Robin Lee's version of it instead of Alana Miles. Because Robin was country.
Okay. Yep.
And then I play Guitars Cadillacs. We always use that song by Dwight, and we do a dance called Cowboy Hustle.
Okay.
That song. Neon Moon, of course, if you want to do a cha-cha dance.
Mm-hmm.
Still popular by Brooks and Dunn.
Yep, good tune. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, regionally here, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band's Fishing in the Dark still is a huge, people sing along to that one. Garth Brooks has kind of fallen off our radar here. Well, he still have occasionally some of the dance, or If Tomorrow Never Comes for a slow. I don't get Friends in Low Places requests like I used to. And
well, to tell you the song, I just try to get my line. It says under construction.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what's going on there.
We'll have to.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get it, and then you guys can check that out.
Actually, the new song by him, Dive Bar, of Garth Brooks, was filmed at the Cowboy Palace where I teach at.
Okay.
Also, I Love This Bar was filmed at I Love This Bar. I'm actually in that video. My wife's in that video also.
Oh, nice.
Of that with Toby Keith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was filmed over there. Wow. I just realized my side is down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
So, Rick sent a message saying he has gotten at your country music survival sheet and wanted to thank you for that because it has helped him many, many times.
Oh, good. So that's why I put it there.
Yep. So we'll have to make sure we get that, and once we get it up, we'll put we can get that link and we'll put that down in the description of the video after this is done. So we can get that. A couple of starter songs, Cupid Shuffle or the Cha-Cha Slide.
Yeah.
Teaching
tool.
tool.
Then what happens is after they get those people on the floor, they don't know what to do. So what I recommend is there's a dance that I teach. I just went on YouTube. On YouTube, I put out 10 to 11 different dances under my name, Mike Bendavid. So if you go there, I did a few of them, I put a couple of them which were simple, like the Cowboy Charleston was one. And then I did another one, the two-step line dance, I think. I put those both on the same one. They're two easy line dances. I use them for parties all the time. So the two-step line dance is done to Laura Bell Bundy, a song called Two Step.
Okay.
And then I do the Michael Martin Murphy. Michael Martin Murphy.
Yeah, no. Michael Martin Murphy. Yeah.
Montgomery.
John Michael Montgomery.
Yeah, that's it. John Michael Montgomery. He did Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the song I used for the Cowboy Charleston.
Okay.
So I used those two songs plus the Cha-Cha Slide, and I use Cowboy Hustle for the Guitars Cadillacs and kind of keep them going. So it works out pretty well.
Let's see, we've got another somebody here with some of their country songs. Shania Twain, Any Man of Mine, Garth Brooks, Friend of the Low Places, Sam Hunt, Body Like a Back Road, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, but Cadillac Ranch instead of Fishing in the Dark with Cadillac Ranch, is a great tune. And then Chris Stapleton, Tennessee Whiskey, which is interesting because that didn't really get it strong in our central Minnesota area until an a cappella band or a cappella group started doing it.
Really?
And that a cappella group did it, and it was fabulous. And it opened so many found the Stapleton, the actual original, and now I will have people request it. They'll come up and say, "Hey, can you play that song from the band's name?" And it just escapes me right off the top of my head. Tonic Sol Fa. Can you play that that song, that Tennessee Whiskey? I hear it on the country stations all the time. It's like, well, it's not their song. It's Stapleton's song, but they just, I got it for you.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it depends on where you're at in the country, really. I mean, it depends on what the crowd is also. If an older crowd wants to hear more older songs, Randy Travis and Alabama and Merle Haggard and George Jones. And then you have it, every 10 years, music changes.
Yeah.
So you have that cycle starting with Urban Cowboy, then you have your George Strait, and then you have your Alan Jackson, and you have your Garth Brooks, then you have your Toby Keith. And each year, each one of those has a peak of whichever artist is going to be the main artist for that particular 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And every 10 years, you have a group of people that come through, and they cycle in, they cycle out. Like Clint Black was huge. John Barry was huge. Travis Tritt was huge. I mean, Mark Wills, Mark Chestnut.
Yeah.
I mean, Lou Harris. I mean, these people all came in, did a wave of their 10 years, disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
They're still out there playing, but they're not as big as they used to be, but they're still out there. And that's what happens is now you're getting the next grouping coming in, who is supposed to be huge for right now, but about 5 or 10 years from now, they're not going to know these people either. I mean, there are a few which stay with us, like George Strait and Emmylou Harris and
Billy Ray Cyrus,
Reba McEntire, your Garth Brooks. But Garth took off for how many years with his kids? I mean, that was just,
Yeah, and yet he's still, getting ready to do his concert here shortly, I believe, and people are going crazy for we're there. So
true.
Let's see. A couple more song titles being tossed out there: Copperhead Road, Dixieland Delight, and another Tennessee whiskey. Great
And
tunes.
Copperhead Road is done differently in my part of the world as it does in Texas.
I would imagine, yes.
Yeah, it's the same song, same line, different line dance with the same song. And so what happens is that they split the floor in twice. So one half the floor would do one section of the line dance,
And the other
half the floor would do their version of it. I've even seen it where I've had 4 different versions of the same dance being done, and I thought I was unique doing my own.
Yeah.
But no, there's people who know a different dance, and it's the same song. So it all depends on regional where you're going to be, so it works out pretty well.
And the very first time of that, I learned that one the hard way is I was playing an hour from my home base there, and you play a song and you're like, yes. And then I announced that because I was being smart. We're going to play this song because everyone can do this dance. And some of the people were like, what? No, huh? No. We don't do that dance to this. I don't know what you're talking about, funny man. We don't do that. And they went and probably did a different dance. And it was something I hadn't seen before, but it's like.
You felt so good.
I know. I thought I was going to be smart.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
And then, of course, they just showed me no.
I was a DJ at the Stagecoach Festival. And when I was out there, we had 15,000 people out in this one area, in this huge tent area. And so I'd play a song and I'd call it out, and I'd see 10 different versions of the same dance being played. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And they're saying, we're doing our version of it.
Yep, a little twist on it.
And I'd never been there, seen that done before, but that's okay, so.
Yeah, so we'll get the link. You'll have to come back to the Facebook, or excuse me, the YouTube version of this video, and I'll actually put the YouTube link in the chat. For those of you out there, grab this link. It'll probably be tomorrow. Hopefully we can do it beforehand, but Mike and I, after the show is over, we'll figure it out. I will put the link to the file in the description of this YouTube link that just went out there. So copy that, hang on to it for 24 hours, and by tomorrow night, hopefully you guys will be able to download that.
I'm so happy to be able to answer people's questions if I can.
Yeah, we're doing well. David, the song, the a cappella band group that was Tonic Sol Fa, Tonic Solfa, I believe it is. They're based out of central Minnesota, and they travel around the upper Midwest, but.
I never heard of them.
Yeah, they have I think it's even on their Facebook page. You can go find that. And it's really, when they did it the first time in a concert, it was like, it's one of those songs that they do so well, it just sends chills. It was really, really cool.
Wow.
I'm just reading, Mike, I'm just reading the chat here. So you're talking about they want to mix in some new stuff, but then you got to play some of the standards from George Strait, Brooks and Dunn, Alan Jackson, Kenny Chesney. Some artists that are still around today, when I get into a classic where people want some, they're really good stuff. This is what they're asking for. But yeah, you get into a younger crowd and they're like, we know George Strait existed, but was he back when George Jones was playing? That kind of a thing. It's like, no, they're too.
It all depends on your age group of who you're playing with.
Yeah, they're just a completely different.
It's true.
Different time. So, So let's go back to that. As early when you were doing the in the 80s there, when you were doing some of the playing country and you were doing some of the dances there towards the latter part of the 80s. What were some of the big songs back then that people were dancing to? Because I get that.
Well, we did Mountain Music by Alabama.
Okay.
We did Killing Time.
Sure.
Clint, and we did Travis Tritt, Trouble. We did Slapping Leather to Trouble.
Yeah, I remember that.
Travis Tritt.
Yeah,
that's the old Elvis hit. And let's see, we did Bellamy Brothers had Reggae Cowboy, which was a popular line dance then.
Yep, I remember that one. Yep.
And let's see, we did Tush Push to any number of different songs, but Redneck Girl was the main one of the Bellamy Brothers. That's the one that had made the floor just packed up and everybody came out. Was the Bellamy Brothers Redneck Girl. To this day, I play that song, people still come out.
Really?
For Tush Push. It's just like, it's known in our area at least for the song which brings everybody to the floor for doing Tush Push.
I played it hundreds of times over my 4 or 5 years. It was every week and sometimes twice a week on some of these, because they would dance early when the sober crowd was there before, we had a lot of folks who were there and then we'd have a second line dancing crew that kind of, there was a transition. So you're doing them before 9 o'clock and then after 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
Many, many nights.
I would go 7 to 11 and I would just play straight through.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on the crowd, obviously. I mean, for two steps, it would be Small Town Saturday Night, was a big hit.
Yeah.
And I would play, I'd play Lucille sometimes just to have fun with the crowd as a sing-along or something, Friends in Low Places I would play with just for a sing-along.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I would also go back and say, Hey, Good Looking. I played an old Hey, Good Looking Hank Sr. song, just so everybody could have a sing-along.
Yeah.
Just to have some fun with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I want to play something which is a little bit different.
Yeah.
King of the Road I'd even play just to get everybody singing and just feeling good, I mean, people know these songs, Johnny Cash, anything by Johnny Cash, people love it, even today they still love Johnny Cash. I actually had a chance to meet him in concert.
Oh, nice.
Back in '86, I met him at Cheyenne Frontier Days, he and his wife, and like I was backstage with him and so forth. It was very, very nice man. I was a member of the Academy of Country Music. I'm also a member of the Country Music Association, and I'm a member of the Country Dance Association, and I was director of a country dance festival for many, many years. And this is kind of what I have made my living, country music. So
really, really,
it's all that I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun.
Develop that. Talk about Amarillo by Morning was another one that we used. A couple of people mentioned that one.
The Chair.
That Chair is probably one of my favorite songs that people have forgotten about.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it's a great little song. It's not very upbeat, but it has the story. Just kind of a fun little story, and especially when you play that in a bar late at night, and there, that there's probably 4 guys in the crowd who are taking notes right now on how to meet a girl by listening to this song. It was good.
Yeah, The Chair was just one that if you want to dance slow and nice and comfortable, that was the one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Stand By Me was another one, popular.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, when
the movie Urban Cowboy came out, everybody went country.
Yeah.
Everybody went country. I was country before that, but it was pretty cool to hear everybody going country at that time. So
yeah,
very, very nice.
Yeah, it was interesting how that all kind of came together during that period of time, and then it just became this thing in that the early 90s as it progressed and became. There were times we were doing weddings where we were doing, 60% country and 40% everything else. I go back to some of our early playlists when we were in that era. There were nights where I was doing 10 non-country songs. It was just, this is what the crowd wanted because it had the 50s, 60s feel on many of those. It had some of that upbeat kind of 80s feel to it, but it was the new hot thing. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I taught dancing lessons at several different nightclubs here in California. And so it's amazing to me to see the people that I've known for 25 years ago still doing what I'm doing, country dancing. You know, you become like family with these people because it's the only real genre that I know where you could actually be with somebody throughout all this time of years and still be with them, because dancing just it brings everybody in. You know, it's such a social thing. Whereas in disco is gone, and punk rock you can't really jump up and down. I mean, it's just you know. But in country dancing, you have to hold on to somebody, so it makes it just that much more closer and social, and you actually talk to the girl while you're dancing with them. It's a lot of fun. You know?
Yeah. That is
a great time.
Somebody asked if Elvira still works. Yes, it does. And it's if you put it in the right spot and you set it up right, it's a great sing along. And then if you prompt them at the bop, oh my goodness gracious, you'll have a crowd going crazy.
My seniors love that dance.
Yeah,
there's a dance and there's a song, and I also have a sing along with that one too, so it works out real well. Come on, everybody, come on, let's go and sing along. Yeah. Great.
Give us a couple more sing-alongs here, and then we're going to wrap things up here. Any others that you use that you really have found that the crowd responds well to?
Okay, let's see. Ring of Fire.
Yeah, for sure.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. You know, everybody wants to do that. Of course, Lucille, The Gambler.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I already said Friends in Low Places.
Yeah, that would be.
There's a few more out there. It's hard to put them right on my tip of my tongue.
Yeah, but, there's so many, and I found that the ones that people keep
Stand by Me.
Yeah. Thank God I'm a Country Boy would definitely be one that people like to sing. They get into a verse and they're kind of lost, but when they get into the chorus, or they've got that one line, and again, prompting with a lot of the country dances really. And with any song, if there's a line and you can prompt, it helps take that energy level higher. But there's many, fishing in the dark is, as you're coming up to that, boom, you and me. You can set that up so well. It's just like designed for it.
I discovered that song when I was in Canada.
Yep.
Because I did a Canadian show, now teaching in this nightclub in Canada, and I was actually at a DJ show in Canada. And I played that song, and everybody knew that song. And out here, it wasn't that famous. But up back there, it was like, wow. And so I brought it from there, actually, and I started playing it more out here. And actually, there's a line dance to it also.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there is.
But I was amazed because it was like a sleeper for me.
Mm-hmm.
But huge back there, so it worked out really well.
It was, yeah, definitely was. Does the name Scooter Lee, does that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scooter Lee is a line dance. She's a singer.
Yeah.
I actually met her in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
I did a TV show called The Club Dance years ago in Knoxville, Tennessee. And Scooter Lee was one of the singers there. I actually, on my dance festival, I brought Scooter to California for the first time. And she performed at my dance festival. And she sings
Little Jalapeno.
Well, there's a lot of them.
That was the one that we did all the time. Was a Little Jalapeno. They had that was the one he loved.
Oh yeah. But she sings the songs that are perfect for dancers.
Yep.
And so what happens is that I had her come out and she sang with a track behind her using my DJ equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And she would use my microphone and she would sing with her own songs behind her. And it worked out really well. All the dancers were on the floor dancing. And she's a great lady. Yeah. Full of energy, and she does a lot of charity work right now. Where she does, she's still doing the circuit, raising funds for dancers and stuff. So it works out really nice.
Yeah, I was her music was a lot of fun. There were some nights we'd have the right crowd that knew all of her songs off her disc, so we'd end up playing. And some of the people were like, "I've never heard this song," but they were seeing a dance floor full of people who knew Scooter Lee music. It was. She was one of those hidden little gems that anybody who was not into the country dancing had no idea who Scooter Lee was. But people who were definitely knew Scooter for sure.
I thought a lot of the songs were hers, but actually she does other people's songs.
Really?
But she puts them into a beat where they're perfect for dancers.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. I just figured that they were her songs. I didn't realize she.
Yeah, some of the songs that she sings. Some of them are hers, but a lot of them that she sings are not hers. And so what she does is she'll if the song is 8888 on the beat, And if there's missing like a 4 instead of an 8, she'll add 4 somewhere else to make it into the 8888, so that you could dance to it.
Keeps it, yeah.
And,
So you're
and
good to go.
she's a great lady, little sweetheart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
neat. Oh, memories from the years past from there.
Oh yeah,
Mike, we're gonna wrap things up here. Thank you much for coming on and sharing your story and sharing some of your passion for country music tonight. This was kind of a fun walk down memory lane for a lot of us, I think, tonight.
Well, it's a pleasure. I'm happy to talk about my past, and I'm happy to talk about my future as well. And hope everybody stays healthy and happy. And it's always a pleasure to be out and about. And if you want me to come out and talk again, let me know. I'm happy to do it.
That would be great. Yeah, we'll definitely.
And it's a pleasure to if everybody has any questions, they can write to me as well.
Yeah.
And I'll give you my link and everything else. And hopefully my website will be up, and everybody can get to that DJ cheat sheet, and I'll find out what's going on with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys can find Mike on Facebook out there at search for him there. Look at the Facebook or the website, hopefully get that up. And then I put a link to the website in the YouTube description, so it's there. And then once we have the page up, we'll put a link to directly to the page. So we'll get it figured out for you. So again, Mike, thank you for being on. Gang, we'll be back here at the top of the hour with our next show tonight. Brian Red and I are going to be talking about deciding what you're going to offer for your business and how to charge for it. Brian and I have two different philosophies when it comes to charging for events, and we're going to dig into that at the top of the hour. Mike, once again, thanks for being with me tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. We'll hope to see you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.